What's up, everybody? Today we're looking at the Mcusta Katana. This is a line lock knife. It is overall length 7.5 inches, blade length 3.25 inches long. Pretty thin. Seems like it's got a really thick spine to it, but it's really thin behind the edge. Liner lock. All in all, really smooth action. Pretty drop shutty. You can really flick it open. Blade centering is just a tad off, but it's not hitting, and probably tighten it up. I think it might have loosened up just a tad. It's been carried and open and closed quite a bit, so it's hard to take. I'm getting a little too much glare from my light, but let's get a little size comparison. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, Griptilian. So you can see it's a thin knife, not exceptionally a wide knife. It's gonna fit good in the pocket. Also has a nice deep carry clip. You know, it's gonna sit right, it sits way down in your pocket. If they made this clip black, you wouldn't even know that you're carrying a knife. That's how good that clip is. Of course it is. It's tip up, which I do believe was different at one time for some reason. But let's see, a knife closer in size would probably be the bailout. Yeah, these two knives here really kind of close to each other in overall length and pretty much even the thickness, the width of them. A little more blade in the bailout. But yeah, those two are pretty close in size, overall length, and width. Do have to be careful. Like, I mean, that sucker, when I unlock it, you see, oops, she really wants to guillotine you. But yeah, you can kind of really see they're pretty close. You take the lanyard off there, they're pretty close. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty narrow knife, not necessarily my favorite. You know, I like a little bit beefier of a knife, but overall, ergonomics, it fits good in the hand, it's comfortable. I don't notice that pocket clip at all, but I'm not probably as picky as some people are. Yeah, the ergonomics are really good on this knife. I mean, you can really get into it. You know, she's tight. You've got your blade stops. They have a groove. You can see the groove that those blade stops, they lock into. There's absolutely no movement in this blade at all. She is tight, even when she's open. There might be a tad, like I said, I think probably just need to tighten up that pivot a little bit, but because she, yeah, but yeah, overall, really nice knife. You know, this is probably, as far as the color scheme with the blue and the black, is probably the most popular. It can be the hardest to find, although all these knives are pretty hard to find when they come in stock. I don't think they really come in stock in huge numbers. But Siki, Japan, obviously, very traditional for making samurai swords over there and other knives. That's basically Japan's knife city over there. Used to have a lot more coming out of them, but you know, I guess times change. I think a lot of big companies used to do a lot of business, like Cold Steel. I think Cold Steel used to have some knives that were made there. And of course, you know, they're not being made there anymore. Little marring on the blade. Like I said, this knife is, you know, gotten used. Edge is sharp. Jeez, that is like a razor blade. They've got a nice wide thin angle on there. And this, yeah, it's gotten me a couple times when I first started carrying it, just because of, you know, sometimes I carry some pretty aggressive knives, you know, that are pretty thick blade, like the Hinders and stuff like that. So, but yeah, overall, this is a nice knife. It's super light. Where's the scale? Let's see what we got here. Yep, 3 1/4 ounces. Yeah, she's light, very light. Compared to the Griptilian, it's almost a 1/4 ounce more. Compared to the Spyderco, yeah, Paramilitary 2. Yeah, she got, so pretty light compared to the Bailout. Yeah, see, these two knives are very close, but even the Mcusta, just a little bit lighter. So as far as size goes, if you like a discreet knife, you know, you got tip up, deep carry pocket clip. Like I said, that thing is it buries all. That's all you see. This, like I said, if that pocket clip was black, because that whole pocket clip screws onto the end of the aluminum scales, or G10 scales, or whatever. They say it's aluminum. Screws on there. If that pocket clip was black, you'd never even notice this thing in your pocket, you know, because it's such a small area at the end there, you know, compare it to some of the others. To the Bailout. See, you can see how the Bailout, even with the black, you'd hardly even notice it. So yeah, if they did that pocket clip in black, you'd never even notice this thing in your pocket. So pretty cool knife overall, though. It's $140. Yeah, I think that's what I paid for. That's what they list it as right now. Its MSRP is like $199, but they usually sell for $140. So not too bad. Pretty solid. Like I said, they say it's all aluminum with the steel inserts. They are milled out in there. You can see it just barely, but lockup's good. You know, pretty much at 35%. Like I said, she's just a hair off the alignment, but she's not touching at all. So like I said, it probably just needs a good little tighten. Won't mess with it sometime. We just carried this last week. We got a bunch of pictures at work. If you're not following us on Instagram, you know, check it out, because we're always posting pictures of me, what I'm carrying at work. So it's always cool to see, you know, you'll probably see pictures of knives that are basically coming up for review. So check it out. Well, and I think that's it for this one. This is a cute little knife, you know. It's got a nice design to it. Simple, you know, kind of samurai sword aspect. pretty nice construction. All in all, I mean, you'll find very few people ever giving any real complaints. The only other thing I would say is you can, if you're gonna use your lanyard, those screws, they poke out just a little bit. You can kind of see where they poke out. So if you're gonna feed a lanyard through there, if it's not a really thin lanyard rope, you're gonna have a little bit of a challenge getting, once you take the pocket clip off, and then even still, but it's not a very big lanyard hole. You know, obviously Spyderco uses a good size one. That if I was to use a lanyard, it'd be 550 paracord, which would fit through that, but wouldn't fit through this. Wouldn't fit through this either, really. Standardized, you know, like I said, some of these guys are using, that's a little bit bigger. Still not as big as your lanyard on your PM2. Most guys hate this, but a lot of guys swap that out, but that's a whole nother review. But that's it for this one, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got a lot more coming up, so have a good day. Thank you.